Hello everyone, it's Yvonne back to do your bonus read. I had to have a bit of a break after the What's Cracking reading. I found that quite a deep and meaningful reading, so I hope those who watch that get what they need from it. Alright, we're going to do a bonus read. We're going to use the Jour de Vivre Tarot for this. I've had a change of deck. And we'll see where we're going with that. Had to have another coffee. All right, so we have the Emperor coming straight out. I don't really want to repeat the reading, but because the Emperor's coming out, I'm feeling you're getting some sort of confirmation about something here. Now, if this is somebody that you're dealing with rather than you being in your own power, or it may be about you being in your power to meet a person who's in their power, the Emperor is a card that represents the sign of Aries. It's a very passionate energy. It's someone who has really reached a level of experience and education in their life. This is a very wise person, someone who has a great understanding of the world. I've always feel with this you get a really good feeling of both spirituality and logic mind. So this person is well balanced, well put together. Sometimes the Emperor, especially if it's in reverse, can sort of feel a little controlling. But I feel that's more about the Emperor themselves. I feel like they have a really controlled energy. And I don't feel that is in a negative way. It's very powerful because this person can understand life at many different levels. I feel this is why it was chosen to represent a divine masculine or somebody that you have a very close connection to, somebody who may see as being very powerful within themselves. But definitely feeling the energy also of you standing in your own personal power. Yet we have the Queen of Cups coming through behind here. So you could be dealing with Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, but the Queen of Cups for me always talks about somebody who's very intuitive, very in tune with who they are, has great love of themselves. This can often for me feel like a mother figure. Not always everyone's mother figure, but the mother figure, the nurturer, the loving, kind, sort of sweet person that we would expect. This Queen of Cups for me is very much representing an energy that sits alongside of this rather than two separate people. So it's the energy of somebody being in the space of understanding themselves at a very deep level, enough to understand their own personal power. So I have the Nine of Swords coming through. And the Nine of Swords is a card of anxiety, mostly nighttime anxiety, bad dreams, facing your demons at nighttime or in the dark. It is a very, very highly anxious card. But it is talking about completing a cycle when it gets to the 9. There is something here that I feel that you are working your way towards. Now, for some of you, it could be a person. And you may be getting yourself in the energy of needing to be in alignment with what you want. So you're manifesting in effect. So you may be starting to understand how to manifest somebody in, manifest what you want, but you may be getting to a point where you're starting to understand how to manifest. And I feel like here with this, we have the Six of Wands, which is the card of victory. This sort of feels to me like there's some anxiety with this change, some anxiety about wanting to become a better person or a better energy. But the victory card tells me that you're getting there. And I want to say to you that you're leaving the past behind here. I feel like I'm talking to people about a love relationship because we do have the card of Temperance, which shows me divine timing. The Don't Give Up card, standing your ground, and the Nine of Coins. Okay, now I can clearly see it with that Nine of Coins. This to me is a reading that sort of is the next episode to the What's Cracking reading. You know how sometimes it clarifies the What's Cracking, sometimes it's a completely different reading. This one feels like to me next steps. All right. I feel that many of you are working in your power to get yourself to where you need to be to come into some sort of union with somebody. Maybe an Aries here. maybe Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. But I see that you're getting yourself to this level. You're bypassing some sort of anxiety here. So you've let go of anxiety and your eye is on the prize with that Six of Wands. So you know what you want. You know where you're going. You want things to be really how they're meant to be. You're building your power here with the Queen of Cups to come to the Empress. And the Emperor here tells me that you are trying to work your way towards somebody. Now, this person may not be known to you yet, or they may be somebody you know. They may be somebody that you are feeling a strong attraction to. But there's a great deal of preparation that you're doing here to have that victory. So sometimes when I see like the Nine of Swords, we have the Two of Cups coming through too, and the Temperance card. The Nine of Pentacles tells me that's you're working towards that energy. You're working towards the energy of being vibrating or working in the same space as your other. What I feel really strongly here though is this energy of trying to understand how to let go of certain aspects of yourself in order to be ready for the next phase, to step into your power. You're already at the Queen of Cups level here, which says to me that you've understood the need to love yourself, but perhaps you're having a little bit of difficulty getting past perhaps the anxiety of being able to get to that level. But I want to say to you, what I see here is a person who is aligning themselves with their greater purpose. Let's put it that way. All right, and there's the Tower again, you see. I can't avoid it. If Spirit wants me to do the same reading, the Emperor, the Tower, both cards of Aries too, by the way, there's no avoiding it. I could use 3, 4, 5 decks and I would still pull the same card. So it's obviously a very important phase that the collective is going through. Because the Tower says to me, you're letting go of your fears. You're letting go of the things that have held you back. You're rebuilding yourself and you know what you're working towards, because either you're working yourself towards the person that you want to be with or the type of person you want to be with, regardless. So you may already have your sights set on someone, or you may be just getting yourself ready for the next person. Now, if you've been through a lot of repeat behaviors in the past, or if you've been through a lot of relationships that have repeated, then you know that you need to do the healing before you move forward. Because as I always say, you need to write your shopping list. You know, don't go out there and just grab the first person coming along, because you are going to find the same person with a different face. This is about aligning yourself with what you truly believe you deserve. And when I say shopping list, of course you could sit down and write yourself a shopping list, absolutely. But it's more about understanding what sort of person you deserve, because you are at a different level of deserving. So when you're vibrating low, you will keep pulling people in at the level you're at. That's exactly how it works. If we think we're not worthy, we're going to pull in people who are not worthy. If we think we're mediocre, we're going to pull in people who are mediocre. If we think we deserve the best, we will pull in the best. So you have to be truly in that heart of loving yourself to bring towards you the person that you really deserve to have. And the Tower tells me you are rebuilding yourself here. All right, so have the Three of Swords, repeat card again. So there is some pain of the past here that you are working through. Six of Swords, you are moving away from that pain. So I feel like here with the Six of Cups. Now, for many of you, this is definitely twin flame energy. No matter which way I look at this reading, this is perfect twin flame energy. There has been some sort of situation in your past here that has put you in this Tower energy. So you may have come out of a relationship and you may have been in that sort of heartbreak, maybe even a little bit in the victim mentality. Why did this happen to me? Why does this always happen to me? Until you start to understand how to heal that. And then I see you moving away from the situation. So you're starting to understand how to heal from that situation and put the past behind you with the Six of Cups. So there's definitely the hurt and pain. Now, for some of you, it may be that you've been through the hurt and pain of a past situation, but now you're realizing how important the healing is for you. This is why I feel like you're moving away, or you've started to move away from this connection, because you are starting to understand that you need to do especially with the Tower. This is the realization that, you know, we get out of that energy of it's all them, they did a bad thing to me, they're terrible people, into the energy of the Tower, which says you are there to rebuild yourself, regardless of whether that situation comes to a head or not. This is about you working on some of those energies yourself. And that's really beautiful, because I see you leaving this heartache behind and I see you moving forward. The thing is, you're moving towards the past here. So there has to be that change there with the Tower that lets you let go of the past rather than keep going back to it. But when you're in the energy of going back to it all the time, you're going to have this repeating pain, because you keep revisiting. You keep revisiting the pain. I'm not really sure why we do that as human beings. Maybe because the pain makes us somehow feel alive. Maybe we were used to the pain from childhood. Maybe love means pain to us. So we keep revisiting that. And keep putting ourselves in this cycle of experiencing this pain over and over again. And the universe is sort of wanting you here to move away from the pain rather than moving towards it. All right, so we have the Star card. This is all look at this, and then the Sun and the Seven of Coins. Okay. So what I see here with the Star and the Sun card is I see you experiencing now the happiness that perhaps you'd forgotten. You know, when you've been through a really bad patch and you wake up on the day when your tummy flips and you feel really excited to get up and go to work, or really excited to face the day again because you've gone through a bad patch and you feel good at the other side. That's what it feels like a little bit of an awakening, a little bit of awareness about yourself. And I feel like now you are ready to sort of go into the world, do what you need to do, knowing that what you've done is behind you with that Tower. You're leaving the hurt and the past in the pain. You're healing, you're leaving the pain of the past in the past. That was weird. All right. So we have the Eight of Swords coming through. See, lots of repeat cards. But this time we have the Wheel of Fortune. I love it. And the Hermit. Now, the Hermit kept jumping out on me in the other reading, which is quite interesting. And it's come out at the head of this reading. I'm just going to pull a card from the middle of the deck. I have the King of Wands. So you could be dealing with Leo, Sag, or Aries here. Somebody that you had an offer from in the past, but it was not reciprocated and nothing went forward. Eight of Wands here tells me there's communication coming in from somebody here. Nine of Wands, something that's going to put you into a spin. Because you're going to go back into repeating the pattern of the past. And the universe is asking you with the Strength card to remember who you are. Remember who you are. Don't go back. Now that's where it has the feeling of the What's Cracking reading again. Don't go back into the old emotion, the old energy. It wants to keep dragging you back. The past will keep wanting to pull you in because you've done the past for a long time. So even if you're 20 and you've been doing the work for a year, you've still got 19 years of what you've been doing. So remember how to keep that in balance. There is an energy here that you're going to receive communication from somebody. You know, I have strong energy, Leo, Sag, Virgo, a lot of Leo energy, Aries, a lot of Aries energy, Aquarius here. So you could be dealing predominantly with one of those signs, but it could be somebody outside of that that just has those attributes. I feel like Spirit is saying to you here, don't be drawn back into the past. You've done the work you need to do. Keep moving forward. You are building your strengths. There is something here that is coming around that's going to draw you straight back into that Eight of Swords energy. Now, I think I said in the What's Cracking reading, sometimes we can do that for a small period of time, and I feel like that is absolutely okay. But you have to remember not to get stuck in the energy of the past. So being the observer in your own life and recognizing that pattern of keep going round on something. It's the overthinking energy. It's the Eight of Swords energy. And we call that the victim mentality. And it's about us feeling or fearing the worst all the time. It's catastrophic energy. It's always going to the worst possible scenario. Where you should be in this point in time, moving towards this energy of manifestation. So instead of looking at something and sort of seeing the worst in it, it's about saying, well, okay, it wasn't a nice time, it wasn't a nice experience, but I've healed from that now, and I don't want to go back. And if it draws you back for a little while, then you're observing that now and you're seeing the pattern. There's a change coming with the Wheel of Fortune, and the universe is saying to you here with this Nine of Wands and the Strength card that you're understanding this cycle that you've been going through. You're understanding the potential of who you are with this Strength card. Let me just pull another card here. Four of Cups. You're just deciding here not to swallow, not to digest the same things over and over again. You're chewing the cud, procrastination. It's time to move forward here. I feel like you may be dealing with a Leo, Sag or Aries here. Strong fire energy all throughout this reading. And it would make sense. Even if someone's not a fire sign, the fire energy is very passionate, very driven, very alive. So I feel like you're sort of pushing yourself towards this sun energy from the Tower. And the star energy says to me you're aligning with your destiny here by going through this healing. But someone is communicating to you here. And I feel like it's going to throw you straight back into the pattern. And perhaps you'll understand when you hit that pattern. This time you'll see it. You'll do things differently. All right, so we have... Oh, I didn't do the mini read. Okay, that's all right. We'll just do an oracle card. So I feel like somehow or another someone is communicating with you from your past. Now, I always think with these, like for me, it is very much about twin flame energy. It feels like to me you've done a lot of healing and you are past the point of feeling betrayed by someone. You've passed that point. You're starting to understand how to love and embrace the new side of you. But it feels to me, oh, look at that, High Wrath, longing for home, homesick for the stars. It feels like you're longing to get home to yourself here. And I feel like you've either got there or you're close to being to that point. And I feel like this communication may throw you for a loop here. High Wrath is a Welsh word that's difficult to translate, but it refers to a certain longing or homesickness. A yearning for a home or a place to which we cannot return. This unexplainable, unshakable longing for home is common in starseeds and old souls. Perhaps you've had it since birth. Now that makes a whole lot of sense to me. If you've gone past a point of healing and you every now and again trip back into that healing, into that past feelings of yourself, those are familiar to you because of your childhood or your past life longings. So when you trip back there, the reason you get stuck is because it's familiar to you. Now, the further you go into healing, the more distant that becomes. But I feel like whilst you're going through healing, you tend to sort of keep tripping back into the same energy. And I feel like unless you've experienced this, it's very difficult for people who haven't experienced it to explain it to you. But it feels comfortable. Even if it's horrible, even if it's sad, even if it drags you down to the deep depths, it feels comfortable. Because it's something you've grown accustomed to in your younger years. I feel like it's not about yearning for home as in a place. It's about the yearning for home for things as they were or things as they could have been. You only remember the good, not the bad. So I feel like here, because it talks about being anchored to your presence, your personality, your soul and your spirit in the here and now, to fully commit to this, living this life right now, to commit to putting 2 feet completely in. And I feel like that is what you're trying to do here. It's like you're trying to anchor yourself in the here and now. And all of a sudden, something comes out of the blue like this, and it's taking you right back into that energy. Don't forget who you are. That was the what's cracking energy too. Remember the work you've done and your value. You don't want to go back to where you were. Not after all the work you've done. I'll leave you with that. Thank you.